Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. So yesterday there was no video because the markets were closed, so there really wasn't any news that was coming out. But today we got a bunch of news. Bitcoin is way up today along with Ethereum. Markets were kind of mixed a little bit today. Miners were up nicely today, except for three. So we'll take a look at all that has to deal with those. We got some other stories. We have pretty big short squeeze on Bitcoin to talk about. We also have EDX. A lot of heavyweights are getting behind EDX on it, so that's kind of interesting to see. BlackRock obviously last week filed for the Bitcoin ETF, spot Bitcoin ETF. So that's good news there. And then we also have Iris Energy going beyond 9 exahash plan at least. And then Soluna also provided that they're getting more megawatts. So we've got a lot to cover, okay? But as always, you guys know the drill here. This is not financial advice for entertainment only. Please do your own research. I'm investing in the following coins and companies for full disclosure. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out. Okay, so here we go. And let's get into the markets here really quick. So in the markets, you can see here that the S&P was down today 0.47%, Dow Jones was down 0.72%, NASDAQ was up actually 0.78%. Bitcoin right now is in the new day, so it's down a little bit, but today it actually went up 5.52%, which was kind of surprising. So it closed at 28,320. You can see that it definitely is above our lines here. It's kind of acting, well, came close to our resistance here, 28,600 roughly, which has acted as resistance and support in the past. But right now we definitely bounced off of the 50-day moving average, the 20-day moving average, the 200 weekly moving average, and we bounced off a couple days ago, we bounced off of the 200 daily moving average, which is the blue line here. So we've been bouncing quite heavily here. Right now, I'm not liking the setup that we have right now as far as the RSI is concerned. So let me point out a couple of things here, and we'll go into some of the time frames here. So on the first one, we have the 1 hour time or 1 day time frame. And we can see here that on Bitcoin price is pretty flat here between these two numbers here, but however, the RSI has increased quite a bit here. So that's number one that's concerning to me, at least on the daily time frame, right? Looking at the next one here, we can see the same thing on a little bit of a shorter time frame on the 1 day chart. We can see also that the bottom on the RSI, both of these are flat. However, price has been coming down. Okay, so that's another thing that's kind of bothering me a little bit right now. However, on the 4-hour chart, we're seeing a little bit of an upward momentum, a little bit, you can see here. We do have a lot of longer data that's showing us something different. So let's start off with the top one here. So the top one, we're going back quite a ways here. We're going basically from the peaks here to the peak there. We can see that the RSI is pretty much flat. Price is also, I would say, flat to slightly down a little bit here. You can see just barely a little bit of a wedge going down. Then going back to over here, you can see that the RSI on this peak to bottom trough here has actually, the price has actually increased. So that's on a shorter time frame, and that looks to me a little bit more better, right? Like it could be possibly going up, and then it actually did go up. Going back here, again, on a little bit longer time frame, you can see that the prices went down while the RSI actually went up a little bit. So that was also a little concerning there, meaning that we could possibly go down even further still. But right now we're having a little bit of a reversal on this, like I said, in the latest, probably what, 24, 48 hours or so, maybe more than that even, 72 hours or so. We're having a little bit of a reversal here happening. And then if you look at the longer time frame again here on the bottom here, so the bottom here, bottom over here as well, you can see the price has been coming down as well. So we've got a lot of indicators where price has been going down or being flat mostly, and we'll have to see how this goes forward. Now, what I would like to see is for obviously Bitcoin on the daily chart, at least, if we go back to the daily chart here, to have the RSI go flat from bottom to bottom or peak to peak while the price actually goes up. If we see that going forward here where price is going up and the RSI is actually going flat or going down, that would at least give me the indication that we possibly might be going in a reversal pattern and going back up in price. Okay, until I see that, I'm still thinking we're going to be going down. On the 1 hour chart, you can see here as well that the peaks here roughly, or the bottoms actually on the RSI, correspond with actually price increase here in the last, what is that going to be, probably 72 hours or so. So we're seeing that happening. We're also seeing the price here be flat from this point over here to this point over here while the RSI has been coming down. That is usually a good sign, right? And right after, what happens after that? Well, we had a nice little rally going up here. Happening. So that's kind of the things that I'm looking for. I want to see that also in the daily chart, possibly in the 4-hour chart as well, to signify that this is going to be a continuation going forward. If that doesn't happen, I'm afraid we might be going down. And going down, I still think we might be coming back down to where we were prior, which is going to be possibly to our 200 daily moving line coming back down here, because you can see that the RSI has come down to it from this peak or this bottom to this bottom, while price actually went down. And I think we were actually higher on the RSI right now than we were back here. So I do think we're coming down here. Possibly if that doesn't go below the 30 RSI, then we might be going down to the 23,800 still. And if that's obviously not far enough for it, we might be going down to 21,331, right? So we had a short squeeze in Bitcoin today. We'll talk about that in a second here. So that's kind of what pushed the stock up today. But can it continue going forward? I just don't know. I'm looking for some indicators to show us that it might. But until I see those, I still think we're going down. Okay, let me know what you guys think. All right, let's take a look at Ethereum right now. Ethereum also was up quite nicely today. Ethereum was up approximately 3.24% on the daily, which was good. And it's bouncing off of the 200 daily moving line, which is the blue line here. And the 50-day moving average line is acting a little bit like as resistance right now. Okay, we can see the same thing here on the daily, at least on Ethereum, that RSI has gone up to 51. Last time RSI was that high was probably pretty close to over here. Price was actually higher at that point as well. Okay, so until I see that changing, I'm thinking we're going down. Now, as far as how the miners did today, the miners did really well today. Any was up 5.37% on the day. Argo was also up 12.62% on the day, so it had a nice day. BitDigital was up 14.58%. BitDeer was actually down at 5.96%, or at least on that one. It looks like it opened up. The candle shows that it was actually up, but it was down 5.96%. Bitfarms was up 14.53% today, so it had a really good day as well. It had a high of 140. Cypher was down 2.62% on the day. CleanSpark was up 13.66% as well. Cores was up 6.58%. DigiHost 11.49%. So that one had a good day. DMG was up 7.43%. Greenidge was up 7.27%. Hive was up 11.8%. Also a really good day for them. Hut 8 up 11.3%. Also a really good day. They were up to $2.77 before pulling back down a little bit. Iris Energy, huge day for them today. 21% on the day. I think it's the news that they're going to be, they're planning to get into above 9 exahash. And then they got plans to get above, another 13 exahash, I think, on top of that. We'll get into the details on that one as well. Marathon had also a fantastic day today, 17.43%. Mawson, not so much. It was down 0.41%. Ride was up 8.17%. Soluna was up 5.29%. Stronghold was up 3.25%. TerraWolf was up nicely today, 13.01%. And that's it for those. Okay, so like I said, pretty good day, really good day for the miners for the most part, except for 3. And let's take a look at what's happening here with the Bitcoin network hash rate. And we can see that the 7-day average has been coming down here. We are down to now 375 million terahashes on the daily, or on the 7-day average. And on the 1-day average, we are currently at 369. So we are kind of trading a little bit more sideways here recently than we were in the beginning of the year. But the beginning of the year was going up. We're now kind of trading sideways a little bit. Okay, so that's it for those. Let's take a look at the stories that we do have here. And those are over here. So the first story is going to be on Bitcoin's rally to 28,000 causes the largest short squeeze this month. So price surge liquidated some 36.6 million of short positions in the past 24 hours, the most this month. This is from CoinGlass data, as it's showing. So that definitely pushed Bitcoin price up today. How long can that last? Like I said, I don't know. But down here we have some more information. The price surge comes after a number of large financial service institutions have announced major crypto initiatives, brightening a mood grown sour in recent weeks from increasing U.S. regulatory pressure, including losses against crypto exchanges Binance and Coinbase. Right, so we have been obviously going down, and shorts are betting that we're going to go down. So they got liquidated today based on the news that came out. So banking giants Deutsche Bank said Tuesday that it had applied for a digital asset custody license in Germany. So that's great news there. Crypto exchange EDX Markets, which received funding from financial heavyweights including Charles Schwab, Citadel Securities, and Fidelity Digital Assets, started offering trading with BTC and Ethereum on the same day. So that was today. And then last week, obviously, investment management giant BlackRock surprised markets by filing for a spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund ETF. Now, whether that's going to get passed or not, it's going to be a tough one. They definitely are a large player in this space, probably the biggest as far as when it comes to management of funds, how much they manage. But we'll see if they can get that through. Others have tried and have failed. The only thing that Gensler has agreed to has been the futures for Bitcoin ETFs, but so far no spot Bitcoin ETFs. Will BlackRock be able to change that? I'm hoping that they can, but it's really tough right now. Okay, next, obviously the EDX story here. So Wall Street giants back EDX Markets, a new cryptocurrency exchange. EDX Markets is backed by large financial institutions such as Citadel Securities, Fidelity Investments, and Charles Schwab. Those are all big players there. They're backing it. And here's the info on it. So EDX Markets, a newcomer to the cryptocurrency exchange landscape, has made a notable entry with backing from prominent financial institutions such as Citadel, Fidelity, Charles Schwab. The company recently unveiled the launch of its digital asset market on June 20th, so today, marking its official entry into the industry. And according to the announcement, the exchange hopes to attract industry leaders by incorporating best practices from traditional finance and offering unique advantages, including liquidity, competitive quotes, and non-custodial model designed to minimize conflicts of interest. Currently, EDX supports the trading of only 4 cryptocurrencies, namely Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. In the coming months, EDX plans to introduce EDX Clearing, a clearinghouse aimed at settling trades executed on the EDX Markets platform. This system will enable trades to be conducted with a central counterparty, offering participants notable advantages such as improved price competition, minimized settlement risks, and improved operational efficiencies. So think of this as all those guys that invested could now possibly use that platform to have their own trades on that one as well. Kind of what I'm thinking is going to be happening here. So that was good news there. And the launch of the EDX markets, which comes amid a regulatory crackdown by Securities and Exchange Commission, suggests investors remain resolute in their interest in cryptocurrencies. This is great testament, I think, right, with all these companies backing another exchange going live. And then also with BlackRock also getting involved in this. Definitely seems like, well, I'm not going to say it possibly, but there's a theories floating around that potentially, all these big guys were missing out the bull run of 2021. And they wanted to kind of drop the market down a little bit. So all this FUD has been coming out with SEC, everything else, to basically drop Bitcoin down to where they can now get back in the party again for this next following bull run, which is going to be in 2024 and going forward. And they want to participate in it. They want to be making the money this time around. Okay. So in similar vein, investment management firm BlackRock has taken a significant step toward embracing the world cryptocurrency. On June 15th, the company submitted the application for the ETF. We talked about that. If granted regulatory approval, this ETF would provide investors with a regulated and convenient avenue to gain exposure to Bitcoin. That is true, and we'll see if that happens. We've had other ones try to get it as well and got denied. I believe one is also, is it VanEck or somebody is suing the SEC for the denial on it. So we'll see how that plays out as well. But that is it on it. So there's a lot of good news happening here in the crypto space, but we still have to see how things go for the next couple of days, couple of weeks with Bitcoin to see if we're actually going to be able to continue this momentum going forward. Like I said, I want the RSI to go either flat and price going up or RSI going down and price going up. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Until then, I still think we're going to be going down, but we'll see. Next is Iris Energy here. So Iris Energy announced its 9.1 exahash expansion plan and revitalization of HPC strategy. So they're kind of going into this kind of like Hive and Hut, it seems like. Hive is doing HPC along with Hut 8. So it's kind of getting another mixture into their revenue stream potentially that's more repeating and not as volatile possibly. Okay, so here's what they had to say. Today, they announced its expansion plan to 9.1 exahash and revitalization of its high-performance computing data center strategy and provided limited recourse equipment financing update. So that's actually some bad news there. We'll see what that comes out of that. But here's the key highlights. So Childress Phase 1, first 100 megawatts construction of remaining 80 megawatts is underway. They're targeting the expansion of data center capacity from 5.6 exahash to 9.1 exahash by early 2024. And there's some caveats to that. Obviously, they haven't bought any miners to get them there yet. They're still monitoring the situation as far as what the pricing is per terahash. I guess they're trying to get in as low of a price as possible. Childress Phase 2, second 100 megawatt long lead items are ordered to unlock 13.6 exahash. I'm guessing that's going to be in addition to the 9.1 that they're going to be at. The 13.6 would be like the 140 terahash minus, I believe. That would get them possibly close to the 13.6 exahash. And we can look down on the bottom here what they say about that with the footnotes 1 and 2 here. Near-term focus on data center construction, retaining flexibility on timing for miner purchases, right? So they're still doing that. And then prior HPC3 data or HPC data centers, strategy revitalized with early transaction for potential use of current sites as well as additional global sites under development. So they got a lot in the pipeline here. Excuse me. So here's their current 5.6 exahash. Early 2024, they're planning to get to 9.1. Previously, that was 6.5. And then long lead items ordered to get to 13.6 exahash. So I don't know if that's going to be an additional, I'm guessing that's maybe all in then, 13.6 instead of 9.1. So they're only going to be going up the 4.5 exahash potentially on that one. Okay. And let's see down here. The company also advises that its previous HPC data center strategy is now a parallel focus. Significant time was invested in exploring the strategy 3 to 4 years ago, including signing a strategic memorandum of understanding with Dell Technologies in March 2020 to test and develop potential data center solutions for energy-intensive compute applications, including leveraging Dell Technologies HPC and artificial intelligence expertise. So now they're getting into AI as well, potentially. And then, so that's good news there. The bad news here is on those limited recourse equipment financing that they had last year, where they basically defaulted on those and had to give the miners back. It looks like they're being sued by the company that lent them the money, I believe. Well, let's get into it here. I don't want to say something out of line here. So as previously disclosed by the company lender to two wholly owned special purpose vehicle borrowers in relation to the limited recourse equipment financing facilities, the non-recourse SPVs, is pursuing remedies available to it with respect to such facilities and has previously appointed PricewaterhouseCoopers as receiver with respect to the two non-recourse SPVs. A hearing was held last week in the Supreme Court of British Columbia, where the lender sought, among other things, declarations to the effect that any difference between the revenue generated by the non-recourse SPVs through provision of hash power services to the company and Bitcoin mined by the company is collateral securing such facilities, as well as a substantive consolidation of group entities, which are vigorously defended by the company and the non-recourse SPVs. Okay, so the way the way I understand it is basically those non-recourse SPVs were obviously not tied to the company, but what they're saying is, at least the lenders are saying, is that the power and the Bitcoins that were mined during that period of time when they had the special purpose vehicles were operating for, that would be as collateral, I guess, if that makes sense, right? So basically whatever they mined with those machines up to that point, but before they, well, up to the point that they give them back, that would be, I guess, their collateral, their money. I guess they're wanting to get that Bitcoin back, I guess. That's the way I understand it. I'm not a lawyer here, so I'm just kind of going through what I can understand. So a decision by the court is pending. The receiver, PwC, advised the court that it is not taking a position on the lender's application. The company believes these claims are without merit. So we'll see what happens to that when they do provide on that. And let's look down here what they had as far as the footnotes. And they're all the way down here. So number one, assumes purchase of Bitmain S19XPs. Additional miners have not yet been purchased, and the company will continue to monitor the market for purchase opportunities. Hash rate figures may change depending on miner procurement selection. Okay, so they're definitely waiting for a better price. I don't know if price is going to get much better. It might come down a little bit more, but if they're going to do something, they might as well do it now, I think, before Bitcoin starts possibly going up and towards the end of the year. At that point, the prices of miners will go up, so I think right now would be the best time to do it. And then number two was obviously indicative timing for completion of data centers. All timing references are to calendar years unless otherwise specified, okay? And number three refers to the practice of aggregating computing resources to perform computational intensive operations, potential applications including AI, machine learning, healthcare engineering, aerospace, media, and entertainment. Okay. All right, so that's it. Okay, so overall, good update for them. That's why the stock went up quite nicely today, with them getting up to the 9.1 and then further to the 13.6 exahash. That definitely is going to be a boom for them. Okay, so we'll see how they continue to expand, grow, build out, everything else. And then when they provide actually purchases on the miners, we'll include them in my spreadsheets that I have for them. Okay, finally, the last one that we have here is Soluna. Soluna is in the doghouse, as you guys know, with me because they are not providing their monthly production updates. So we usually will talk about any kind of updates that they do have, but I don't have a spreadsheet for them right now because, well, they're not providing the monthly updates. Okay, so here's the details. Soluna announces new 166 megawatt behind the meter term sheet with renewable energy powerhouse. So this is good for them at least. So Soluna announced the execution of a 166 megawatt behind the meter term sheet with a new lending renewable energy power partner. The term sheet comes on the heels of Soluna's successful energization of Project Dorothy, its flagship data center in Texas. The new project named Kati will be co-located at an existing renewable energy site, allowing up to 166 megawatts of Soluna's modular data center connectivity. The company and the renewable energy partner are currently working through definitive agreements. The regulatory interconnection process has begun, so that's good news there. So we'll just have to find out what the partnership will look like, whether it's going to be a revenue split or however they're going to be able to do that. Okay, so that's it overall. I think with what's happening with Bitcoin and everything else here, all of these guys, big guys in the industry getting behind Bitcoin and a new exchange, I think those are all positive signs for Bitcoin in the long term. Right now, we've had a lot of FUD in the past. We've bounced definitely today. We'll see if this can continue going forward. I would be more than happy to be wrong on thinking that things might go down even more. I'd love to see Bitcoin just continue to go up, but I think the way the charts, at least the way I'm seeing them, I think we might be coming down a little bit more, but we'll see. Other than that, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I don't think we have any more minor updates that we have to do. I think everybody else pretty much provided theirs. I'll take a look at it, see what else is going on there, and then see what other metrics we can come up with. Okay, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.